On February 12, 2026, a group of executives gathered in a high-security meeting room in Zuffenhausen. The topic wasn't a new product launch or a racing victory, it was an existential crisis. The 718 Cayman and Boxster, the cars that many purists argue are the true Porsches, are currently sitting in a state of development hell. For years, we were told the future was electric. We were told the 983 Generation 718 would be the torchbearer for the EV sports car. But as of this week, the internal chatter has shifted from when to if. Today, we're breaking down the high-level meeting that could decide the fate of the mid-engine Porsche forever. To understand why Porsche is at a breaking point, we have to look at the timeline. Production of the current 982 Generation 718 ended in October 2025. For the first time in decades, you cannot go to a dealership and order a brand new mid-engine combustion Porsche. The factory lines were supposed to be pivoting to the EV replacements. But the transition hasn't been smooth. By late 2025, reports began surfacing that the 718 EV was falling behind schedule. Then came the bombshell. Northvolt, Porsche's primary battery partner for this high-performance project, hit severe financial turbulence and bankruptcy. Porsche found themselves with a car designed around a battery that might not exist in the volume or spec they needed. On January 1, 2026, Michael Leiters took over as CEO. Coming from Ferrari and McLaren, Leiters is a man who understands the weight of a sports car, literally and figuratively. He inherited a project that was already bleeding money. The February 12th meeting was Leiters' first major go, no-go moment. The reports coming out of that room suggest he is looking at the 718 EV with a cold, analytical eye. He isn't just looking at the engineering, he's looking at a world that has changed drastically since this project was greenlit 4 years ago. Let's get technical. Porsche developed the PPE Sport platform specifically for the 718 EV. It's a dedicated skateboard architecture. But Porsche engineers set an almost impossible goal, a curb weight under 4,000 pounds. For context, a modern Cayman GTS weighs around 3,100 pounds. Adding a battery pack large enough to give a Porsche-level range adds roughly 1,000 to 1,200 pounds instantly. To hit that sub-4,000-pound goal, every other component had to be impossibly light and expensive. But the real nightmare surfaced in late 2025 when Porsche tried to hedge their bets. Seeing the EV market cool, they asked a simple question: can we put a gas engine in the EV platform? The answer from the engineering team was a resounding no. The PPE Sport platform uses the battery pack as a structural, load-bearing member of the chassis. If you remove the battery to make room for a flat six and a fuel tank, the car loses its structural rigidity. You'd have to redesign the floor, the rear subframe, and the entire bulkhead. Essentially, you'd be building a second car from scratch. Porsche is now stuck. They have an EV platform that can't take an engine and an ICE platform that is too old to meet upcoming global regulations. If the engineering was the only problem, Porsche might have powered through, but the market is turning against them. China, once the land of infinite growth for Porsche, EV demand for high-end European brands is cratering as domestic Chinese brands like Xiaomi and BYD offer high-performance EVs for a fraction of the price. In the US, the scrapping of federal EV tax credits and the sudden rollback of emissions regulations means there is less pressure to force EVs on consumers who aren't ready for them. Porsche is looking at a future where they spend billions to develop a 718 EV that their core customers, the purists, don't actually want to buy. So, what were the options on the table during that February 12th meeting? There are 3 likely scenarios. The nuclear option, cancel the 718 entirely, focus all resources on the 911 hybrid and the electric SUVs, Macan and Cayenne. This would be a tragedy for the brand, but from a purely financial standpoint, it stops the bleeding. The slow walk: delay the 718 EV until 2028 or 2029, hoping battery technology like solid-state catches up and allows for a lighter car. The problem? Porsche has no mid-engine car to sell in the meantime. The ICE resurrection: scrapping the PPE Sport platform and quickly adapting the upcoming 911-994 platform to create a new mid-engine combustion car. It's expensive, but it keeps the purist market alive. The 718 has always been the driver's Porsche. It's the car for the person who finds the 911 too big, too GT-focused, and too expensive. By potentially killing the 718 or forcing it into an EV-only box that weighs 2 tons, Porsche risks alienating the very enthusiasts who built the brand's reputation. In the meeting, sources say the tension was palpable. There is a divide between the green executives who want to hit 80% EV sales by 2030 and the heritage executives who realize that a heavy, silent Cayman might be a sales disaster. As of today, Porsche hasn't issued a formal press release on the meeting's outcome. Usually, silence after a high-level meeting means the news isn't good. If they had a breakthrough, they'd be shouting it from the rooftops. The 718 is currently in a coma. Whether Michael Leiters decides to pull the plug or perform a multi-billion-dollar surgery remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: the era of the lightweight mid-engine Porsche is facing its greatest threat since the 912 was discontinued.